A lot of our students are first-generation college graduates, often first-generation high school graduates. They're the mainstays of their family. They've gotten this far by really struggling, and they've gotten this far really by themselves.
Well, I don't come from a conventional, traditional background. It's kind of amazing that I'm in law school because I never graduated from high school.
Because you come into law school, especially as a black male, and you don't have that confidence as your white counterparts do. They have family who are attorneys or so forth, and a lot of my family haven't gone to college. I haven't received their college degrees.
I'm the first person in my family to go to law school. It's definitely it's an awesome endeavor, and I came here with a lot of doubts and insecurities. I really didn't know if I can make it.
When you get thrown into a mix of very talented, very ambitious people, some of those people are just going to start questioning themselves. Academic support, and Trina herself really instilled in me the belief that I could do it.
Do you guys dance? Yeah, okay. Learning to do legal analysis is more like learning to dance salsa. So if you wanted to learn to dance salsa, how would you go about it?
Buy records.
Oh, you're just going to listen to salsa records, and then when the salsa competition comes, you're going to go salsa dance and win. No. Learning to do legal analysis is a matter of practice. You have to be using it. It's not that you don't need to know what the rhythm is for salsa and what the steps are. You do need to know that, but you need to be doing it yourself. How do you know when you're doing it right? How do you know when you're really on?
Because people watch me.
When you're dancing right, you'll feel it. You'll know you're doing it right. When you're answering a question right, you'll have that same feeling in your body of everything going click, 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 and that's what we're working towards. When I was hired at USF, one of the conditions for my getting the job was that I would work doing academic support half-time. And when I was considering whether to join the faculty, I called friends all over the country. And for the most part, they told me, don't do it. It's a dead end. You'll have no status. You'll be stuck there forever. And I decided to do it anyway, but I made an agreement that I would do it for only 2 years, and I stayed 6 because I loved it so much. And every year, some people come in and they haven't learned this lesson, but you're going to get it this year.
When I first came in, I was admitted through the academic support program. The program itself was very welcoming, and obviously to all the people they admitted, and it provided me, at least me, with a level of comfort in the sense that I didn't know what law school really was about, and they provided a kind of a roadmap.
You just argue about the facts. What happens then?
I can memorize things. I can memorize things well. I can memorize a lot of things, but as far as using it with the facts and analyzing it using the law, it's very different. Very, very different.
Trina is always telling me how intelligent I am. I doubt that sometimes. I really do, because it's difficult to learn the law. And when you don't understand something right away, the first response is, oh, I just can't do that. I don't deserve to be here. Well, Trina is a counterweight because she points out the intelligence that you have, and that makes you go out and try it again the next day.
You only learn if you see it. And that's the kind of learner I am. So I'll just tell you what I did in law school, and you can experiment and see if this works for you. And when the students feel that the faculty really has a stake in them and really has confidence in them and believes in them, it makes all the difference in terms of their performance.
Trina was really my mentor. She was my professor in law school. She taught me how to really listen to people and listen for specific problems and figure out what they are with a student and try to attack them directly, because everybody's really different.
I'm just focusing in on one subject and trying to get that down, trying to learn it.
I learned from her how to try to diagnose those things and find some kind of a solution in order to make it possible for somebody to continue through and succeed in law school. And it works. It works if you take the time to listen and find out what's going on with people. You can often find a way for them to get through whatever it is they need to in order to succeed.
I think one of Trina's important contributions has been to her colleagues, to all of us, to help us think about teaching.
She really became the faculty's conscience about this program, not beating us over the head with it, but by constantly educating us and encouraging us and cajoling us to get involved and to understand it.
It was important that other faculty be involved for the students. It was also important for the other faculty to realize how wonderful these students were, and they weren't going to realize that unless they had the opportunity to work with them.
Having directed the program now for a couple of years, I really realized what Trina meant, and what the program gives you is an opportunity to get to know students in a way that you otherwise would never get to know them. I've learned things about their lives and their life experience and what motivates them and the way they've grown up and the reasons that they came to law school and why the special admissions program is so important to them, that there's no way you can get that chance unless you actually work with these students and live with them the way I have for the last couple of years.
When I first started doing the program, it was just me and the students. I did everything, and I loved doing it, and I got a lot back from the students from the start. So that wasn't the problem. The problem was this was not really serving the students. It was important to have the program be part of their whole education and not just a satellite that was off on the side for me to take care of.
Everyone didn't immediately agree about what were the advantages of this program and how important it was, not just to USF, but to the legal profession.
So we formed a task force. That task force consisted of some alumni, some students, some faculty who weren't involved in the program, indeed even some faculty who had been historically critics or at least skeptics of the program. And their charge was to take a hard look at it.
By the time the task force had reached its conclusions and made its recommendation, the faculty was ready to proceed unanimously in agreement that this program really has a place in the school.
So now everyone has an ownership in the success of this program. We voted to spend money on it. We voted to devote full-time faculty resources to it. We voted to utilize part of the summer for the program. So it's no longer a one-person program. It's a program of the faculty of USF School of Law, and they do make it work.
They're bringing in other faculty members, so students get to know other faculty members, see their teaching style, and the faculty members get to see the students and to see who they are. And they usually are quite impressed with who they are when they see them without all the intimidation of the rest of the class around. And this summer they had some very exciting exercises that they were able to do with the students that we never would have been able to do before this program got institutionalized.
This summer, the students had an added treat in the summer orientation program. The O.J. Simpson case was, of course, in the news, and Professor Talbot had them argue mock motions, arguing various legal issues in the O.J. Simpson case. And it was really an opportunity for the students to take something that was happening in the news and apply it to what they were doing.
A first-year law student tries an insanity defense in a mock version of the murder trial of the decade.
Are you suggesting he was out of touch with reality at that particular time?
Totally, Your Honor.
Professor Robert Talbot assigned 3 state-of-mind defenses: second-degree murder, manslaughter, and insanity.
Well, I thought this would be a wonderful way to get the students to read the cases, study the case law, what the cases have to say about it, and see how it applies to a real-life situation.
And here was a real opportunity to be like a lawyer. It was a fantastic experience.
Now, it is unlikely that somebody would go to the effort of disposing of the clothing and then leave one glove at the scene and another glove at the place of residence.
I know that I, really prepared and had my argument prepared and wrote it down and did it in front of a mirror and made sure I had the right voice and the right tempo and the right rhythm. And it was exciting. I didn't get much sleep the night before.
So we really owe it to those students that we do admit under our special admissions program to be sure that we're providing all we possibly can as educators that they will succeed as students. And that's really at the guts of this program and why I think it's a success, because we keep our promise to the students of providing the resources they need to succeed. They have the talent, and we help bring it out.
I've thought about this many times. I'm convinced that but for the ASP program or a program like it, I wouldn't be a lawyer or a judge today. I'm convinced that I can't say that more heartfelt.
The academic support program did provide a community for me in the sense that a lot of the people I was in touch with then, I'm still in touch with now. They're people who I knew at the time I shared not just a law school class with, but a lot of heartfelt feelings about being involved in our community. And to this day, there are people that continue to do work in the community.
We have people out there, our graduates, being lawyers who wouldn't be lawyers if we didn't have this program, and they're doing wonderful, wonderful things.
If it weren't for Trina and the ASP program, I'm sure I wouldn't be here today as a second-year law student. As far as the program is concerned, it It developed the skills that I had. It helped me realize what weaknesses I've had and helped me to overcome some of those. And it helped me, build on the strengths I have also.
The ASP program is at the heart of breaking down assumptions. The assumptions that minority students may come to, or disadvantaged students, that they cannot do the work, it breaks down those assumptions. And because those students do well, it forces the law school to look at a broader context of what is qualified or who is qualified to undertake the study of law. In essence, it causes us to look at each other for who we are and our abilities, as opposed to indulging assumptions.
I don't think that I would be here today talking to you if Trina hadn't said, yeah, Kwang, we'd love to have someone like you, someone who was born in Saigon.
There's nothing that has compared with academic support in terms of my feeling of making a difference and in terms of people giving back to me. And so it's the best thing I've done. There are some ways in which if I could do it forever, that's what I'd do. It's hard work, but it's just rewarding on a daily basis in a way that you don't often get in academic life.